Hare Krishna. Good morning, dear devotees. Welcome to Radha Shanji's morning Srimad Bhagavatam. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari. Yashodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari. Yashodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari. Yashodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Radha Kalashanji, Radha Kalashanji, Sri Radhe. Jayo Radha Govinda, Radha Govinda, Sri Radhe. Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Sri Radhe. Jaya Radha Shamasundar, Radha Shamasundar, Sri Radhe. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya, Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya, Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Shri Radha Madhava ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mother Preeti. If you wouldn't mind, Narayanam namas. Oh, excuse me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Together, please. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devyam sarasvatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet. Nasta prayasha abreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati utamashloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. So today we got quite a few verses. Do we have a mic ready to go? Yes, we do. So I'd like everybody to do 3 verses each. And if there's a time where it's kind of like the passing of the mic is a little slow, I might jump in and read a verse, okay? So just so everybody knows, to keep it rolling, because we got 1 through 36 today. Oh my gosh, we got a lot of names. Every word in the Bhagavatam is pure nectar. Just.
Shukadeva Goswami said, by the womb of the girl brought by his father, Vidarbha begot 3 sons named Kusha, Karata and Rompada. Rompada was the favorite in the dynasty of Vidarbha. The son of Rompada was Babru, from whom there came a son named Kriti. The son of Kriti was Ushika, and the son of Ushika was Chedi. From Chedi was born the king known as Chaitya and others. The son of Krata was Kunti. The son of Kunti, Vrishni. The son of Vrishni, Nirvarti. And the son of Nirvarti, Dasharha. From Dasharha came Vyoma. From Vyoma came Jimuta. And from Jimuta, Vikriti. From Vikriti, Bhimaratha. From Bhimaratha came Navaratha, and from Navaratha came Dasharatha.
From Dasharatha came a son named Shakuni, and from Shakuni a son named Karambi. The son of Karambi was Devaratha, and his son was Devakshatra. The son of Devakshatra was Madhu, and his son was Kuruvasha, from whom there came a son named Anu. The son of Anu was Puruhotra. The son of Puruhotra was Ayu, and the son of Ayu was Satota. O great Aryan king, Satota had 7 sons named Bhajamana, Bhaji, Divya, Vrishni, Devavridha, Andaka and Mahabhoja. From Bhajamana, by one wife came 3 sons, Nimlochi, Kinkana and Drishti, and from his other wife came 3 sons, Shatajit, Sahasrajit and Ayutajit. The son of Devavridha was Babru. Concerning Devavridha and Babru, there are 2 famous songs which were sung by our preceders, which we have heard from a distance. Even now I hear the same prayers about their qualities, because that which was heard before is still sung continuously.
It has been decided that among human beings, Babru is the best, and that Devavrata is equal to the demigods. Because of the association of Babru and Devavrata, all their descendants, numbering 14,065, achieved liberation. In the dynasty of King Mahabhoja, who was exceedingly religious, there appeared the Bhoja kings. O King Parikshit, who can suppress your enemies? The sons of Vrishni were Sumitra and Yudhajit. From Yudhajit came Shini and Anamitra, and from Anamitra came a son named Nigna. The two sons of Nigna were Satrajit and Prasena. Another son of Anamitra was another Shini, and his son was Satyaka.
14.
The son of Satyaka was Yuyudhanu, whose son was Jaya. From Jaya came a son named Kuni, and from Kuni a son named Yogandhara. Another son of Anamitra was Vrishni. From Vrishni came the sons named Sapalka and Chitrada. From Sapalka by his wife Gandhini came Akura. Akura was the oldest, but there were 12 other sons, all of whom were most celebrated. The names of these 12 were Asanga, Sarameya, Madhura, Madhuvir, Girdi, Dharmavrita, Sukarma, Shetapeksha, Amardana, Satrukna, Gandhamada, and Pratibahu. These brothers also had a sister named Sutara. From Akora came two sons named Devati and Upadeva. Chitrata had many sons, headed by Prithu and Vidarata, all of whom were known as belonging to the dynasty of Vrishni.
Kukura, Bajaman, Suchi, and Kambala Brishi were the four sons of Anaka, and the son of Kukura was Vahini, and his son was Valoma.
The son of Viloma was Kapotroma, and his son was Anu, whose friend was Tumburu. From Anu came Andhaka, from Andhaka Dundubi, and from Dundubi Avidyota. From Avidyota came a son named Punarvasu. Punarvasu had a son and a daughter named Ahuka and Ahuki respectively, and Ahuka had two sons named Devaka and Ugrasena. Devaka had four sons named Devavan, Upadeva, Sudeva, and Devavardhana, and he also had 7 daughters named Santi Deva, Upadeva, Srideva, Devarakshita, Sahadeva, Devaki, and Dhritadeva. Dhritadeva was the eldest. Vasudeva, the father of Krishna, married all these sisters. Krishna, Sunama,
Kamsa.
Nyagroda, Kanka, Sanku, Suhu, Rashtrapala, Drishti, and Tustiman were the son of Ugrasena.
Kamsa, Kamsavati, Kanka, Surabu, and Rasatrapilika were the daughters of Ugrasena. They became the wives of Vasudev's younger brother. We're starting to get into names that we recognize, right?
The son of Karutha and Vajutha, and the son of Varduratha and Sura. His son is Bajanamana, and son of Bajamanana was Saitni. The son of Baja, the son of Boja, the Daka.
Good. The three sons of Hirdika were Deva Midya, Shata Danu, and Krita Varma. The son of Deva Midya was Shura, whose wife was named Marisya.
Through Marisha, King Shura begot Vasudeva, Devabhaga, Devashrava, and Anaka, Shinjaya, Syamaka, Kanka, Samika, Vatsaka, and Vrika. These 10 sons were spotlessly pious personalities. When Vasudeva was born, the demigods from the heavenly kingdom sounded kettle drums. Therefore, Vasudeva, who provided the proper place for the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, was also known as Anakadundubi. The 5 daughters of King Shura, named Prita, Shrutadeva, Shrutakirti, Shrutsarva, and Devi, were Vasudeva's sisters. Shura gave Prita to his friend Kunti, who had no issue. Therefore, another name of Prita was Kunti.
Once when Durvas was a guest at the house of Prita's father, Kunti, Prita satisfied Durvas by rendering service. Therefore she received a mystic power by which she could call any demigod. To examine the potency of this mystic power, the pious Kunti immediately called for the sun god.
Whoa, can you imagine? Wow.
As soon as Kunti called for the demigod of the sun, he immediately appeared before her, and she was very much surprised.
Oops.
She told the sun god, "I was simply examining the effectiveness of this mystic power. I am sorry I have called you unnecessarily. Please return and excuse me." The sun god said, "O beautiful Prita, your meeting with the demigods cannot be fruitless. Therefore let me place my seed in your womb so that you may bear a son. I shall arrange to keep your virginity intact, since you are still an unmarried girl."
After saying this, the sun god discharged his semen into the womb of Prita and then returned to the celestial kingdom. Immediately thereafter, from Kunti, a child was born who was like a second sun god. Because Kunti feared people's criticism with great difficulty, she had to give up her affection for her child. Unwillingly, she packed the child in a basket and let it float down the waters of the river. O Maharaj Parikshit, your great-grandfather, the pious and chivalrous King Pandu, later married Kunti.
Wow. Okay, text 34 is our focus verse. By the way, this is, out of these 36 verses, this is the only verse with a purport by His Divine Grace. So we'll be reading this. Om Magyam Deva Sandarsham Amogyam Deva Sandarsham Adyade Tvai Chatmajam Adyade Tvai Chatmajam Yonir Yata Nadusyeta Yonir Yata Nadusyeta Kartyam Te Sumadhyademe Kartyaham Te Sumadhyame Amogyam Deva Sandarsham Adyade Tvai Chatmajam Yonir Yatya Na Dosyate Kartyaham Te Sumadhyame. Bolo, please. Amogam Deva Sundarsham Adyade Tvai Chatmajam Yonir Yatya Nadusyeta Kartyam Te Sumadhyame
Amogam Deva Sandarsham
Amogam Deva Sandarsham
Adadhe Tvai Chat
Anyade Tvayi Chatmajam Yoniryatana Dusheta Kartyam Te Samadhyate Mogham Deva Sandarsham Adye Tvayi Chatmajam Yoniryatana Dusheta Kartyaham Te Sumadhyame. One more? Anybody? Mogam Deva Sundarsham Nandane Tvayi Chatmajam Yoniryata Nadusheta Kartyam Te. Word for word together, please. Amogyam, without failure. Deva Sandarsham, meeting with the demigods. Adyahe, I shall give my semen. Tvai, unto you. Cha, also. Atmajam, a son. Yoni, the source of birth. Yata, as. Na, not. Dosyate, becomes polluted. Kartya, shall arrange. Aham, I. Te, unto you. Sumadhyame, O beautiful girl. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The sun god said, O beautiful Prita, your meeting with the demigods cannot be fruitless. Therefore let me place my seed in your womb so that you may bear a son. I shall arrange to keep your virginity intact since you are still an unmarried girl. Purport. According to Vedic civilization, if a girl gives birth to a child before she is married, no one will marry her. Therefore, although the sun god, after appearing before Prita, wanted to give her a child, Prita hesitated because she was still unmarried. To keep her virginity undisturbed, the sun god arranged to give her a child that came from her ear, and therefore the child was known as Karna. The custom is that a girl should be married, akshata yoni, that is, with her virginity undisturbed. A girl should never bear a child before her marriage. Om Vigantimarandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, but by my spiritual master's kind mercy, my darkened eyes were opened with the torch light of knowledge. How old is Kunti in this story? Just a teenager, just a young girl. Can you imagine being a youngin', and all of a sudden you got this amazing power? What are you going to do? Probably going to test it out, right? Listen, whoa, really? I got this power? So she does this. And then all of a sudden the sun god appears, and she says, my bad, my mistake. Never mind, I was just kidding. He says, no. And he gives her a child. So you imagine that, such a simple mistake can have such a big consequence, right? And his devotees are not just devotees, but anyways, what I wanted to say was, with great power comes great responsibility. And you can see that when we make a mistake with the power that we have, or we use it whimsically, it can have a great consequence. And so I was thinking about how as devotees, how we wield power, right? We have so many opportunities as devotees to actually have a lot of power that we kind of take for granted in some sense. Kind of think it's, there's so many other devotees that also have this power. But when we look out into the material world, we can understand that the people out there don't have the fortune that we have. For instance, the Maha Mantra. The Maha Mantra is so powerful, right? It's going to take somebody from the lowest parts of material existence and can bring them up to a pure devotee. That's a lot of power, right? Any other examples of power that we have as devotees that we're given this opportunity to yield? Yield, like we have an opportunity to use this power, this influence that we get through being devotees. What other power do we get? How about Gayatri mantra? The Gayatri mantra says that when you chant your Gayatri, you should be very focused. Because anything that you're desiring when you chant the Gayatri mantra, it has a chance to appear. Any other? Yes, please. You can just yell it out. Wow. Whoever consistently for 12 years goes to morning program, whatever that person says will come true. Matter of fact, the song that we sang this morning, Radhe Jaya Madhava, Radhe Jaya Radhavadayate. Anybody who sings this song, all their Sankirtan desires will appear. Wow. What were you going to say, Manjari Gopika?
Sorry. Hare Krishna, I was thinking how devotees are empowered by the spiritual master.
Oh, wow. Yeah, through the spiritual master, we actually gain the good qualities. We think that we're putting in so much effort and our austerities are coming through and we get these great qualities in our character, but actually it's because of our association with the spiritual master that we're getting good qualities. And with those good qualities, if you go out in the world, you'll know if you're working with people that don't have this kind of association, you're very quickly appreciated. Oh, wow, this person's so nice. Wow, you're so tolerant. And inside us as devotees are going, well, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Because we also get to see the spiritual master that's showing the quality that's so much better in us. So we think we're so small. But you go out to the material world, you go out to with materialists, and they're like in awe. Wow, how are you able to do this? I remember I was a router. I would route buses, and I was in an office, and it was three women and me, and the drama that was just around was just unreal. It was like so much drama, and I would just do my best to stay out of it. And after a while, the people, the bus drivers would come in and they would come to me because they liked how I did things, and that just caused me more problems because the other people got mad at me. I was like, wow, like I don't tell them to come to me, but anyways, so how about Shastra? We read the Bhagavad Gita. And how much power is in the Bhagavad Gita? It's unlimited, right? We're hearing Krishna's words. And some people, we can speak the Bhagavad Gita and change somebody's life. It's amazing, right? Matter of fact, I got a Bhagavad Gita about 21 years ago, and it absolutely changed my life. I read it in a week. I couldn't put it down, and it changed my whole trajectory. Srila Prabhupada's mercy. So, like Princess Kunti, in this sense, she's still Princess Kunti, we also have a lot of power, and we get to decide how we get to use it. And we need to make sure that we don't use it whimsically. We need to make sure that we use it in a way that is appropriate, or we can make mistakes or cause great harm to others. Who's the child of Princess Kunti here? Karna. Karna is a very interesting character in the Mahabharata. What is he known for? What was it? Archery and also charity. He's very charitable. He's known to have great qualities. He was only second really to Arjuna, pretty much. Arjuna was the only one who could defeat Karna. And Karna, being so powerful, being the child of the sun god and Princess Kunti or Queen Kunti, he had a lot of power. He had a kavacha, an armor that could only be broken with somebody who had 1,000 years of austerities or penance. And he was offered quite a few times, Karna, you're very good. Come to this side. Come to the Pandava side. You're stuck over there at the Kauravas, and they're not doing things right. Come over here. And each time he said no. Who were the people that gave him this warning? Well, Krishna once said, please come over here. Who else? Vishvadev? The sun god also, his father comes to him and says, hey, please, go to the side of Krishna. Go to the side of your brothers. Kunti asks him too, right? Kunti even says, please come over.
She actually revealed to Karna who he was, and he became quite angry. He was very upset with his mother.
Who found Karna in the basket?
Atirath.
Yes, a charioteer, a chariot driver, right?
Right.
And you had a great archer, and your parents are charioteers, so you were looked down upon. So it was a big source of anger for Karna. And then the other side is Arjuna and the Pandavas, who have just as much, if not more, power than Karna. And they're hearing from Krishna, they're hearing from their grandmother or from their mother, and they're on the right path, right? So, this is a great example of a person with great power that doesn't know what to do with it. Mother Kunti makes the mistake, but then she learns from that mistake, right? And she has the Pandavas. But we have Karna, who has all these wonderful qualities, but he can't make the jump over. He can't get over his mistakes. What's the difference between these two different characters? We'll put Kunti and the Pandavas on one side and Karna on the other. What's the big difference of these people who have this power, and yet one's on the bad side and one's on the good side? Gokulananda. Yeah.
Mother Kunti said just now, Krishna.
Yes.
I was thinking major difference between Karna and Arjuna was both were equally powerful archers, but Karna always wanted to be the best of all the archers in the world, whereas Arjuna wanted to give his best. He was non-envious.
So their purpose in life. So Arjuna's purpose in life was to use his power for the service of Krishna, right? Why Karna just wanted to be the most. Any other differences? How about their association? Karna could not get over the fact that Duryodhana was so kind to him. Duryodhana friended Karna, and even when he was nobody in a sense, Duryodhana could understand that he was a great archer and brought him in. And Karna couldn't get over this. And so this is a great lesson for us that we need to be careful about our association. Srila Rupa Goswami in the Nectar of Instruction gives 11 verses. It literally takes 3 to 5 minutes if you just read his verses. And there's one instruction that he gives twice. Can you imagine? You're willing to give 11 instructions that will take somebody from a neophyte devotee to a pure devotee in 3 to 5 minutes, and there's one thing that you bring up twice. What is it? do's and do not. Do give up the association of material-minded people. And don't, give up the association of world-minded people or materialistic people. And I'm forgetting it, but it's the same thing, but the do. Yeah, it's give up the association of material-minded people in both of them. I'm forgetting right now. Anybody help me? Your everything will be spoiled if you do these three things. What is it, Gokulananda? Do you give it in English? So in verses 2 and 3, Srila Rupa Goswami says, give up the association of materialistic persons. And then in 3, he says the same thing. So how important this instruction must be that out of 11 verses, only 3 to 5 minutes, he says these things twice. Do give up the association of materialistic people. Don't associate with the materialistic people. So we can have all the availability to power. Krishna is full of all opulences, and one of those is strength. Sometimes people say power. And so by just associating with Krishna and his devotees, we will gain power. We will get influence. But how we use it is very important. And how we associate with people will determine how we use that influence. And so we should audit and understand who are the people we're giving association to. Association sometimes I think is misunderstood in some ways. Because sometimes we think association is just the people that we are around. There was a remember, do you guys remember this saying that the Christians said for quite some time, what would Jesus do? WWJD. What would Jesus do? You guys remember this? Back in the 90s and the 2000s? I thought, wow, this is a really nice thing, you know? So that association they would give is, what would Jesus do? And therefore, what should I do? I would change it a little bit. I would say, what would Jesus want me to do? Because if you're saying, what would Jesus do, you're trying to put yourself in the shoes of Jesus, which is, thank you. You can turn it off. I can't turn it off. I mean, I could if I got up, but there we go. Yes. So our association can be, what would Srila Prabhupada want me to do? How would Srila Prabhupada appreciate it if I acted in this way? And that's association. The people who you look up to, the people that you think about and how they change your behavior is your association. You connect when you eat as prasadam because of Srila Prabhupada. You think about how you're going to act in the temple because of the association of Srila Prabhupada. If we start to act in a way where we're thinking about what we do in the world because of this materialistic person, then we're taking association that can be very hurtful. For instance, I'll give you guys an example of me. For quite some times I was interested in, and I'm still in what's this thing called life coaching. And there's a very strong personality named Tony Robinson. And he's very powerful, very, very powerful person. You listen to him, and man, you hear. After a little while of listening to him, I was very convinced that he's read Srila Prabhupada's books and he's stealing from him. I'm not kidding. Like some of these life coaching things is they bring principles out of Bhagavad Gita and Srila Prabhupada's books and they use it for a materialistic way. However, they want to do it like philanthropy work. They want to help people. I want to help you become the best version of yourself. And you can, make this money and you can impact people and this and stuff. And so I remember I started to, when I was listening to him for so much, I would start to think about, what would Tony Robinson, or how would he look at it? And so after a while, I started to go, wait a minute, is this association that I want to do? Do I want to see the world through Tony Robinson's eyes? Or do I want to see the world through Srila Prabhupada's eyes? See, what we hear determines how we see. What we hear determines the lenses that we have. If you want to be a doctor, you go to doctor for 12 years and you hear about being a doctor, and all of a sudden you see life as a doctor. And that doctor has a lot different of a vision or how they see the earth more than the lawyer. The lawyer will go through life and they'll hear about it and they'll look things as a lawyer does. Maybe if they're this certain lawyer or that certain lawyer, they're looking for different opportunities, how to find people that they could help in certain ways. So similarly, when we read Srila Prabhupada's books, he starts to give us a lens by which we can see Krishna in this world. And that's the association we want. That's the way we want to hear. That's the way we want to see. So our hearing will affect our seeing, and this is the association that we want. And we don't want to be like Karna, who he has such power, such influence, such an ability, but he just can't turn the corner because he's attached to his association of seeing things like Duryodhana. We want to be like Arjuna and hear from Krishna, and so our power is always used in the service of Krishna. I'll stop there. Any questions, comments, thoughts? We talked about association. We talked about power, influence. We talked about hearing and how you hear. Yes.
You were telling that Karna could only be killed by a person who did 1,000 penances, right?
1,000 years, yes.
Yeah. Arjuna and Krishna were Naranarayan rishis in their previous lives.
Narayan
Krishna
Rishi.
incarnate.
Yes.
And then there was this demon, I forgot his name. Yeah.
Gokulananda has it.
Sahasa Kavach, right? Yeah. He did penances for sun god and then asked him for 1,000 armors.
Oh, wow.
And then he said, anybody who did 1,000 year penance, only they could destroy even just one of his armor. And then Narayana Rishi came to know of this, and then one brother used to go and do penances. He used to come back and destroy one armor. That time that demon used to kill him. Then the other brother who was doing penances that time used to come and then revive this brother who used to go and then do penances. And then Narayan, suppose he used to destroy one of the armors and then die. Like that. And then they destroyed 999 armors. And then when it was only one armor and one of them was there to destroy it, that demon Sahasa Kavach, he ran to Sun God for his shelter, and then Sun God said, leave him for now, in the next life you can kill him. That's why Karna was born with that armor.
Wow. Yeah, very nice. Thank you. Now we know how Arjuna was able to defeat Karna. The armor. They had a chance. Any other comments, thoughts? Gokulananda Prabhu.
Full of enthusiasm.
Thank you.
Really appreciate.
Thank you.
So when you made the point about devotees getting some powers, I always remember this particular reference from, I think, Chaitanya Charitamrita. There is a story of Rasikananda. His disciples, they would always see one yogi from a nearby village who used to fly in the sky. So they would come and report this to their Guru Maharaj, Rasikananda. And Rasikananda would just neglect them. So one fine morning, again, they just came rushing up to their Guru, saying, we just saw him taking a broomstick in between his legs, and he just flew in the sky. And this time, Rasikananda said, I just had with you guys. So he was brushing his teeth with the neem stick. So neem stick he takes holds in between his legs, and zoom, he goes in the sky, comes back, and then hands over the stick. Just chant Hare Krishna, you will get all these powers, but devotees are least interested in these powers.
Wow.
So connected to this point, Jananiwas Prabhu one time in Bhagavatam class, he mentioned this. He spoke about a yogi in Vrindavan who had left his house and everything in pursuit of absolute truth. But in the process, he happened to practice Ashtanga, and he possessed one particular siddhi that he could transform himself into any form. So, but he got succumbed to Maya, allurements of Maya. And then in the process, he would just become a monkey. He would go to the banks of Yamuna, climb a tree, and he would just watch women bathing naked there. So one particular day, as this particular thing works, he forgot how to get back into the human form. So for almost a decade or so, he remained in the body of a monkey. And just before dying, he came back to his form, and he revealed that to his colleagues. So this is how is a lesson for the practitioners on the path of Krishna consciousness, that if at all we get any powers like this, we still have those conditionings, like the gross siddhi we talk about, the mobile phone, and there is so much of nonsense available. We can easily succumb to that nonsense. So imagine getting the mystic power. What would happen for a person like me, conditioned so like me.
Great points. Thank you so much. Kripamoya Prabhu.
Hi, Krishna Nanda Braj Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Hi, Krishna.
For your
So
class.
nice to see you. So nice to see you.
Glad to be back. I really appreciate your point, the WWJD, and how you transferred it over to what would Srila Prabhupada want me to do. I'm just wondering, maybe in your own devotional life experience, do you have any examples of when you thought like that, like what would Srila Prabhupada want me to do? Or if you know other devotees who...
Yeah. Well, it was just I had one pop up, and I was wondering if I should use it or not. So I'll give a general example that I've had happen sometimes. When we work in a community so closely, our anartas become very visible in a sense, you know? It's kind of like, you know? And so me being a great anarta finder, I've gotten to a point where sometimes I've seen in Srila Prabhupada's disciples these things that are not so palatable to devotional service. And I remember that I was having a great difficulty with this. And so then I was thinking of Srila Prabhupada and praying to Srila Prabhupada, and I realized that these people are really doing their best they can because they think this is the best way to please Srila Prabhupada. And when that realization hit me, that the desire to serve Srila Prabhupada was so much there, it totally changed my view of how I saw these things. I no longer saw them as some impediment for me or this or that, or like, you know, I was just like, oh, that's a unique way of how to serve Srila Prabhupada. It might not be my way, but if we look into Krishna consciousness, the point is that we become in attitude complete servants of Srila Prabhupada. And so who am I to like try to judge these things and stuff like that? I really don't know. You know, Srila Prabhupada engaged so many people in so many ways. So when I remember that was a big shift for me to stop being offensive in the sense of my mind and seeing problems in it, to shift it and say, wow, this person, these devotees are so engaged in serving Srila Prabhupada, and they really want to see Srila Prabhupada happy. That was one way. Have you had any examples in your life where you thought of what Srila Prabhupada would want you to do and it really shifted you?
Well, I think what you just said is really like a unifying, community building way of looking at the world. I
Mm.
mean, community, is very much connected to the word communion.
Mm.
And and I like how you pointed out that when we live in a community,
Mm.
it's so easy to start seeing the faults around us,
Mm.
And I just remember Naveen Sham Prabhu, he one time told me he'd read that there's one, in psychology they have one principle which I've tried to apply in my own life. It's called the fundamental attribution error, where if I make a mistake, it's due to circumstances. And if you make a mistake, it's due to bad character. So I try to reverse that,
Yeah. Right?
And then just when you were speaking, just reminded me one time when Srila Prabhupada first came to San Francisco in I believe it was 1967. And Hari Griva was living at the temple, San Francisco temple at the time. And this devotee named Haridas, one of Srila Prabhupada's first disciples, came from New York. And Hari Griva just could not, he and Haridas did not click.
Mm-hmm.
And Hari Griva was getting so annoyed. So he went to Srila Prabhupada and started complaining about Haridas. And Srila Prabhupada said, "Do you think everyone has to be to your liking?"
Thank you so much. I appreciate that point. I sometimes look at material nature is so strong. Unless we're on a platform of pure devotional service, she's gonna get us every once in a while, right? She's gonna best us sometimes. And I know it happens to me. So if I see somebody get bested by material nature sometimes, it's like I'd rather be compassionate to them than think about how they're not able to come up to this platform of not being touched by material nature. And it can help me in my compassion sometimes is and think, I hope that my friends are nice to me when I and look at me and go, Nanda Braja he had a bad day. You know what I mean? That's not who he is. You know what I mean? But and so I try to look at others in that way and say, sometimes we have sometimes she just gets us. You know what I mean? So it's okay. I know you. I know that that's not who you are. I know that, it can be a nice way to be compassionate to ourselves and to others. And I think that's pleasing to Srila Prabhupada, that we have that cooperate type of spirit, community building.
Yeah, and I think just to add to what you just said, I think, talking about, like Srila Prabhupada said, you'll show your love for me by how you cooperate. So what you said earlier, if we try to understand that everyone's intention, we may not agree with the way they're going about it, but their intention is to please Srila Prabhupada. We can honor that. And that's very beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
I was thinking about that. We can try to have that vision, try to see from Srila Prabhupada's eyes, try to see that compassion, or from Krishna's eyes. Krishna and Srila Prabhupada, they appreciated even the most little of service, but yet I'll talk about me, I'm so willing to find out the problems, right? And Krishna is Srila Prabhupada and Krishna is totally separate. They're finding the best of whatever, and I'm trying to find the worst of anything like that. But if we can shift in like that and say, okay, how is Krishna seeing this, or how is Srila Prabhupada working in this person's life? And it really can be a powerful thing. Like you can all of a sudden go, okay, Krishna's kind. I can try my best to be kind also. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Anything else? No? Anybody else? Bhagavan, Prabhu?
In warfare, there's armies always try to divide it up, the good guys and the bad guys.
Yeah.
But in this Mahabharata, in the Battle of Kurukshetra, we seem to have good guys working for the bad guys and bad guys working for the good guys. Like Karna was a good guy. Bhishma Dev was so good. So how do they stay good when they're fighting for the purpose of evil?
It's said that history is written by the winner. So you look at American history, I'm sure it's a lot different from the Native Indians' history. If we had our history books written by the Native Americans, it'd be a lot different perspective, right? So my initial thought is, the pure devotee knows their role and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to think of how to make it practical. So we can, what is it? The road paved to hell is paved by intention. Is that the word? By what? By good intentions, right? So we want to put value in good intention. It is important because Krishna will see our good intention. But how it manifests is also important, how it looks externally. And often how it manifests externally depends on the association and the environment we're in. And so if we choose to put ourselves into an environment that doesn't allow our intentions to manifest in a way that's beneficial for others, then we will be put on the wrong side, no matter how good we are internally, no matter how good our thoughts are, no matter how good our words are. And so this is a great lesson that we see these wonderful devotees that are completely pure in intention, but externally they put them in a situation that they're on the wrong side. And so we need to make sure that we check that our internals also match our externals. And if they don't, then we need to find the right association. We need to inquire from the right association how to get that changed. Yeah. Wow. I don't know where that came from.
Thank you, Mr. Bhagwan Prabhu, for bringing that up. Do we have time?
Yeah, we have
a couple minutes.
9 more minutes, actually. We're like
okay.
7 more minutes or something. Yeah.
Mother Sita, she narrates this particular story to stress a point how dharma is never black or white. It depends on time, place, and situation. So there was this Brahmana who never spoke lies in his life. He always spoke truth. And long story short, his kingdom, the king of that kingdom waged a war with the neighboring king, and he lost the war. And the enemy soldiers were behind him. So he happens to come to his place, seeking the shelter. He said, "Hide me, hide me." So he said, "Okay, you go hide there." So he goes, hides. And then when the soldiers came up to him asking, "Have you seen your king?" Because now he can never, he has never spoken lies in his life, so he doesn't want to. He thinks that's the irreligious thing. So he points out to the place where he was hiding, and that's how he gets killed. The king gets killed. And after his death, when he is brought to Yamraj and he is destined to go to hell, he asks this question, "I never spoke lies, I was so religious." And then Yamraj answers, Mother Sita is quoting Yamraj, that the dharma is not just in and of itself as dharma. It depends on the dependable factors like time, place, and situation. In that particular situation, For him, the dharma would have been to speak the lies.
Mm-hmm.
So as we see in Mahabharata also, Yudhishthir Maharaj, his chariot used to be always flying in the, it was always above the ground level. But as soon as he spoke the lie, they say because he spoke the lie, it came on the ground. But actually it wasn't so. Acharyas explained because he hesitated to follow the instructions of Krishna to speak lies. That's why his chariot came down. So the major lesson coming out of Mahabharata, you see, as Mishra Bhagwan said, all these dharmas like Karna happened to be religious, showing the good quality of charitable and so on and so forth. Everybody has bad dog and good dog. So degree varies. So Karna had probably more bad dogs in him. He was a demon from his past life, but there was this amsha, energy coming from Surya that gave him a chance, basically. So most of the people, they always try to paint him a hero, even better than Arjuna, but it is not so. So many such characters like Bhishma, all these dharmas reflected by these characters, they are individual dharmas or partial dharmas, but Krishna, by giving Bhagavad Gita, stressing here, saying that Sarva Dharman Parityaj, give up all those religions, and the topmost religion is to surrender to Krishna. So all the contradictions of Mahabharata are resolved in Krishna. That's the bottom line.
That's a great point. Okay, the last one, I did make a mistake. It's 8:40. Last one, go ahead.
So just to add to what Gokulan Prabhu just mentioned, I heard in Gaurang Darshan Prabhu's class is pure devotee is one who accepts the will of the Lord, which may be against all the societal rules. For example, when we look at Bhishma Dev, it appears to us that he was the grandfather of the Kuru dynasty, and then he was the eldest person. He was supposed to uphold Dharma, protect Draupadi, protect Pandavas, but he didn't do it. But that was will of Lord Krishna. He has to enact that role. So when he was talking about surrender to Krishna, sometimes we have to surrender to will of Krishna even though it's against all the norms. So like Prabhu was telling, like Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityaja. So we have to give up all the society norms or standards. If that is, if suppose Krishna's will is against all those, we should be ready to give up. I guess Bhishma Dev was an embodiment of pure devotee because he knew the whole world, and even now, even in Kali Yuga, a lot of people try to blaspheme Bhishma Dev because he didn't stand up for the truth. But he was ready to go through all those because he wanted to align himself with the will of the Lord. So that was something Gaurang Darshan Prabhu was telling about surrender.
So we'll end here. We talked about Queen Kunti. She has this great power. She makes a little mistake, but because of her surrender to Krishna, she overcomes this. This mistake becomes, nothing in her path to serve Krishna. But we have people like Karna, who also have so much power, but because of bad association, they can't overcome and be on the right side. So let's make sure that we have our right association, that we think about our association, audit our association, and surrender to Krishna and perform devotional service and chant Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Pramanande Hari Hari Bol. Vanchikalpatrubhyascha. Kripa Sindhubhyevacha. Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Antikoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Sarna